He's such a heartthrob, but he chooses to be stupid.
Right?
It's crazy.
It's like, just leave it to your
Lily
swagger.
hated him.
Of course!
Hated him.
I dug him because he's essentially like a fucking like Instagram, YouTube up and comer. He's just like, I'm an influencer.
You know, I'm really about to like piss myself off, and probably all of you, about with who he just reminded me of.
Who?
Justin fucking Bieber, god damn it.
Yeah.
No!
God damn
I mean,
it.
she has a good point.
I mean,
Don't ruin
it's
this
happening.
for me.
Like, I hate
Don't
Justin
ruin
Bieber
this.
so
So
much,
do
but
I.
sometimes when he opens his mouth, I'm
Words
just like,
come
oh,
out.
gross. I could feel myself swooning disgustedly.
You're
Exactly!
transported.
You
God,
get it.
Fucking Piotr. Okay.
You get it.
Okay. So
baby, oh.
No! Get out,
no.
Cassie. Go away. Get out.
out.
きっと約束だよいつかまた同じ笑顔で
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Box, the Annie Chat Box, where 5 or sometimes 4 friends snuggle up in a teeny tiny space to talk about all things anime. My name is Cammie, and you are tuning in to episode 139. And let me go ahead and introduce the roundabout of hosts that are here with me today, starting with my dearest producer and one of my best friends ever, and one of my future bridesmaids. There is Cassie.
I'm so honored.
Always happy to have her gracing my presence. It is wonderful. And alongside her, there is also the man of many voices, one of my best friends, the best platonic sleepover partner ever, that is Gregory.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Coffee.
Green tea! Coffee!
Wait,
Green tea!
wait. Are you saying that Craig is not one of your bridesmaids?
You know... Can we come up with like another power position in the wedding?
You know,
I
mean, if I don't make the cut, that's fine. I understand.
Actually,
you like a bride's bro? A bride's bro.
Craig can be the Ruddy.
Oh,
Oh,
Roddy.
Craig is Rod. I love Roddy. And I love Craig. And then, joining us as a very special guest, you may have heard them on a few episodes before, there is my maid of honor and dearest sister, Jasmine.
Aww.
Say hi, Jazz.
Hi.
Their friendship is so beautiful.
Oh, you sweet darling dear. You're so nice to me, you tiny little Satan, you.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to get into today's review. It has been pushed back for so long because this unfortunate property was stuck in Netflix jail. But in Netflix jail, it is no more, and we are here to give you our thoughts on the Studio Bones anime in 2019, Carole and Tuesday. Carole and Tuesday was animated by Studio Bones. Other shows by them include Noragami, Mob Psycho, and Ouran High School Host Club. Shout out to Cassie for choosing some of the best because I love all of those shows very much.
Yeah.
They are quality and speak to Bones' quality. And to be more specific, it aired in spring of 2019. To give you a synopsis, it's been 50 years since mankind began its migration to the terraformed Mars, where they live in the comforts of advancement in AI. Carole lives in the metropolis of Alba City, working part-time by day and playing her keyboard by night. Tuesday has run away from her home in Herschel City to escape the grip of her wealthy family, and instead hopes to pursue music with her acoustic guitar. After a fateful encounter, the two decide to perform together. Up against the AI singers that dominate the music world, the two of them believe that together they can convey their feelings through their songs. Will hard work and luck be enough for the duo to create the biggest miracle that Mars has ever seen? Well, you'll have to wait and see, but we do hope to get into that and answer the question. First off, on thoughts of story, I was so happy to see another music anime coming out, like a big produced music anime, because they I don't feel like they're necessarily quite as frequently popular as like sports anime, for example, that come out like almost every
True.
season, or of course isekai or anything.
Yeah.
But it's a genre that I think all of us very much love as lovers of music, musical artists, etc., etc. So I think we were all kind of excited for that, right?
Mhm.
That
Absolutely.
genre.
Yes, it is amazing.
Heck yes. And I think that this show really tackles the music genre in a way that's very unique in anime, in it being a contemporary look at the music industry and starting to go into music into the industry rather than something like being a music student in college or in a high school band or something like that, for example. That's something that I really, really loved about the show.
Yeah.
I agree. It taught me
Yeah.
things I didn't know. And obviously this
Yeah?
isn't a fictional, well, not technically fictitious, Mars does exist, but outside of them living on Mars, this seemed like such a realistic take, which is not something you get to see in anime a whole lot. And then, of course, there's some really real issues that are currently happening socially all over the world that they try and tackle as well. I'll get into how I feel about that and how well it was executed, of course, later.
Yeah.
I think that this story, though, was extremely ambitious. And I think it took risks and being so modern and being so very real.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I am excited because I think I vibe with you on a lot of like the execution versus what was given. But yeah, it was really cool to see all of these different subjects. If I could provide an adjective to the story of Carole Tuesday, for me it's contemporary, just because it addresses so many things that are relevant in our day and age and potentially what we're moving towards.
Yeah.
With some of the future setting and the big focus on authentic music makers versus AI infiltrating the entertainment industry. I think that's big in general. You look at things like that we're getting self-driven cars nowadays, and like the ways that music is pushing more to like electronic methods. And so yeah, that was really, really cool to tackle. And I was not expecting socio-political subjects to come up that they decided to tackle in the second half of the show, but like a show that touches on the existence of immigrants, really fucking cool and really exciting to see. So that was pretty cool. Are there other like subjects maybe in the show that intrigued any of you guys that I might have missed?
For me, the representation for the LGBTQI community, like,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. And also just like seeing the mix of different races as well. That's so well, to have them so well represented in an anime is like kind of crazy, at least for me, because I don't watch as much as you guys do, but that was a fantastic thing for me. Those two things really made the show pop for me.
I think, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. All I was just going to say is Jazz brings up a very, very good point. And I'll actually transition to you on this, Cammie, because you talked to me briefly about it. For example, like how Promise Neverland made you feel uncomfortable, or several other anime who have tried very hard to have people of color in their shows and fail. Unfortunately, and then to actually have a show where, you know, people of color can say, yes, this was well represented, makes me super happy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I agree completely. I was just gonna counter back to what Jazz said about, you know, you don't watch as much anime as us per se. I will say though, like, even with everything that we see, I think we can all unanimously say, yeah, this was impressive.
Yeah.
This is a feat. This is what we would like to see more of in anime in general. Like, they definitely knocked that out of the park. Not only having characters of color, but also in so many different social standings. It's not like all of the characters of color were refugees or immigrants, for example, or in like living in certain qualities of life versus others. Like, they came from different backgrounds, different financial situations, etc. And that, again, intersectionality, super important.
Yeah.
So yeah, I loved seeing that. And I also definitely the LGBTQ representation. And some of it is just so subtle. And then some of it is just right there for you. Like, it never feels forced to me. It just feels very natural, very accepting.
And the
one
fact
of
that
my
no one
favorite.
Sorry.
Huh?
The fact that no one questions
Yes.
these things in the show, like it's because it is just a natural thing for people to be different and have different ideals for themselves.
Mhm.
Like, no one questions it.
Yeah.
There's no bullying or anything like that. And it's like mind blowing how well it's done.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, I think one of my favorite questions in this show was, do you two have boyfriends or girlfriends? And I was like, oh, yeah. I love it.
Yes.
There's no assumption there. It's so great.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So that was really cool. And let me think then. So yeah, I think, Cassie, you said it best. Definitely very ambitious with all of the story elements. What I think we could get into is our thoughts about pacing, because that is kind of where these compliments that I do have a little bit of criticism on. Mm-hmm. So tell me if you guys resonate with this, but there were just moments in the show where I just wasn't really sure where it was going. Like, sometimes it felt like maybe we were meandering a little bit, and I was like, okay, what is the greater significance of this? Like, what direction are we going in? And I think I felt this way more in the second half than in the first half. Yeah, because in the first half, it's very much like, okay, meet Carole Tuesday, meet the other external players, but then it's really Carole Tuesday just trying to get a bit of recognition and really kind of bring themselves up. And to be honestly, after the end of the first half, I wasn't really sure where the show was going to go at all. So maybe it was just set up that way, but it felt like some episodes kind of meandered into little episodic subplots, and then maybe there were hints at like a bigger thing that was going to happen, but I was like, I don't really know what we're doing here.
For me, the first half felt a little bit more straightforward, and the second half had a lot more ideas to like play with, because the back half definitely plays with the idea of just like politics. Like, it gets really political really fast, and while they hinted at it at the first half, it's really just more Carole Tuesday trying to like get their foot in the door, and while they're still continuing their music career in the back half, it juggles more elements in the back half, and that's why I think it's just like, good on you, I guess, for like doing that, but but it all comes to a head, and I think it ended fine, give or take the pacing being ratcheted up in the back half.
What do you think, Jazz?
I feel that, like, where it could totally be seen as, like, some of this is weird. There was one particular thing that I don't want to talk about and, like, give spoilers to that was kind of confusing for me. And like, I was kind of like, why did it happen? But as far as the rest of it goes, I feel like having the politics and everything, because it's so intertwined with Tuesday and her family, and also seeing just like the grittier side of the music industry, and that's just kind of facts and how it is now. And it's showing you what you don't normally see when you're looking at your favorite artists. You don't get to see them go through their journey and what they have to go through and all of the obstacles they have to like jump over. So it's showing you that other side of it that we're not usually privy to. So I thought that some of it was just really amazing.
Yeah.
Sure. I think that's a great point. Yeah.
Go on.
I was going to say, I agree completely with you, Jazz. I think most of the stuff that they did with the music versus political expression, and they started to dabble with how music can be used to manipulate people, and then it just kind of dropped that storyline altogether.
Yeah.
But there's a lot there. I think my problem with the second half is that, like Cami said, like, sometimes there's meandering or complete throwaway episodes. For example, there's an episode completely based around Tuesday talking with a reporter. And in the beginning of that episode, I was all in for it because she's exploring herself, her relationship with her mother, and she's finding an outlet to really express how she feels. And then there's this, like, pointless romance thing thrown in at the beginning for no fucking reason. And I was like,
I do recall
why
this.
are we here? Why is this happening? This is really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just episodes like that kind of threw me off or made me feel like they weren't sure what they were doing or they were just trying to fill space so they could get to the big boom at the end. Because I think the show starts out amazing. I think the first half is masterful, and I think that's mostly because they are only focusing on Carole and Tuesday, who they're meeting, and their music. The second half, they're trying to juggle at least 5 balls, and the person juggling the balls has only been taught how to juggle 2, and they're doing the very best that they can, but something's gonna fall through. So I think that the balls they juggled really well was politics, music, how politics affect music, how music affects politics, and how those two things can come together and make something beautiful. And I agree. But everything else in between that they tried to do, I felt was a little spotty at best, especially the stuff with Angela. I really wish...
Yeah. Oh my god, I wish it was explored more.
Yeah, I wish they had, 3 more episodes to just let her... let her story play out as it, because what they did with her was amazing, but it didn't give you a moment to breathe.
I like her her character arc overall. The entire show, albeit without going too deep into it, is abridged as fuck towards the tail end. I like how it's diametrically opposed to Carole and Tuesday's bringing into the music industry. One's more air quotes, it's authentic, and she is the puppet. She is going to be a pop star using AI technology to get into this, to get her foot in the door. And they're basically eternal rivals, bettering each other. And I'm like, that is awesome. 2 different aspects of this tech in this world.
Yeah, and I really like that per se. And I feel like we could have dedicated more time to Angela's arc. And still had the implication of the politics thing, but maybe we could have cut off some of the time spent between the reporter and Spencer, for example, who had a lot of screen time, and we could have abridged that and spent more time on Angela's arc, because that just that sort of balance of stuff to me was just weird. How there were sort of walk-in characters, kind of like the reporter, for example, or her brother, who. I really liked what they did with her brother in the first half. That could have been all that I saw of him personally.
And it would have been perfect.
Yeah, and it would have been fine. And you still could have had the political tensions, but I didn't care much about either of them in the end.
But
and they got a lot of screen time.
What did you enjoy? The episode dedicated to Erdogan and his depression.
Absolutely, actually.
Yes.
I love that episode.
It was funny. I'm just saying.
That was a good throwaway episode, if you want to call it that.
I mean, I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
No, Jazz, go. Go off, girl.
I don't know that I would call it a complete throwaway episode. Yes, the way that they dealt with some of it was really cheesy. In a great freaking manner. I loved it. But to see just the inner workings of someone's mind and how they go back and forth with themselves and the depression, you have that depressive voice in your head that's like, bitch, you ain't shit. Yeah. And then you got the other part of you that doesn't want to believe it, and that's your hope that finally decides to come out, no matter how cheesy it is. I thought that was just amazing. And to see him kind of have that breakdown after being a complete and total dick that everyone loves, because you can't help but to love Erdogan.
Yeah. Oh, he's great.
But just getting to see that human side of him was amazing to me.
For sure.
Yeah, I think Jazz is really onto something. And even the cheesy part is just, it's so very him. You couldn't have an episode like this without it being cheesy. Even his comeback is cheesy. Those fireworks dough.
They were everything.
Again.
I think that I don't really feel like his story was necessarily a throwaway. I think that it was...
Sure.
I think it was also something that grounded him, because he always felt like he was above Carole and Tuesday, and then who's the first apartment he's crashing at, you know, outside of Rhodey. I think it gave him that moment to be look where you came from, look where your roots are.
Rediscover yourself.
I think he even made a comment about that, I forgot the basics.
Yes.
Who am I on my shirt?
And that really ties into him being able to be there at the end, because I don't think I would have bought him being at that, big thing that happens at the end unless he had this downfall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Without going into spoilers.
Yes.
Also, just on a meta perspective, that scene where it's all of his different hymns is just so wonderful because it's Mamoru Miyano. Like, just, he sells it because because that's just him. Like, of course he's the one that's going to be having this dramatic argument with like 3 versions of himself. It was just perfect. Like, we did Zombieland Saga. This is the next phase of Mamoru Miyano meta. So
that's interesting. I watched the show in the dub, and he's voiced by Ray Chase. So Ray Chase's voice is a little bit deeper. So I might need to go back and rewatch that soon, because Miyano has definitely a higher pitch.
Please do. Miyano is like one of the best voice actors on this project. He sells Artagun so well.
Nice.
I think that the story of Carole and Tuesday is much like their music. It's this beautiful, messy masterpiece that's full of risks and risk-taking, and some of it pays off, and some of it doesn't. And I think that makes it work. I don't think that this is a perfect story, but I think that it not being so squeaky clean makes it more memorable. I don't know. There's something about the faults of this show that I still somehow like.
It makes it shine.
Because they tried to do something different.
Yeah.
Okay.
How they executed it wasn't always perfect. But I still think that through the whole way through, even the moments where I was eye-rolling or feeling like, okay, where are we going with this? I was still wanting to know where the destination was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like being on the Max and you got stuck for 50 minutes and you're not entirely sure why. But then you still get to go home and there's this yummy fucking food and all your friends and family, and you remember why you sat through that Max ride to begin with, you know?
It's interesting. Oh, go on.
Oh, I think another big part of definitely, like, despite the kind of bumps along the road that makes you stay intrigued, because I also felt intrigued, was just the world building is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that definitely strengthens the show.
I was going to comment by saying this is coming from the guy that made Terran Resonance, and that also has weird aspects to it, but it's also very intriguing. And this, you can just feel this man's love for music, the industry, to a point where it's so ingrained into him. Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo were both defined by their music, and this is a guy that just went so hard with Kids on the Slope, and this. He's just like, all right, this is what I am. I'm music. This is all of me. Space Dandy aside and Terran Resonance aside, this is, like, I feel like this is he's
Love
hitting
Child.
The Love Child. This is his final form, if you want to go Perfect Cell.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could totally see that.
And the love for music is even in, like, the halfway, like, the fact that every episode is named after a song.
Yeah, the eye catches.
And then every halfway point is, like, a record with a song that the episode is titled after.
And the label maker. Yep. And the music recording studio. It's really deep.
Yeah. Also, I just want to put out there that I immediately fell for Tuesday when I found out she was in love with Cyndi Lauper.
Yes.
Oh, really?
I mean, and if you look...
God.
But if you look, and I don't know if you guys did it, but, like, certain characters, they are definitely made in the image of certain celebrities that are huge in the music industry. Like, I feel like Desmond is modeled somewhat after Prince, and I thought that was fantastic, and just how enigmatic he was.
Jazz, after the recording, you need to sit down and tell me who all of these people you think are influenced by, because I didn't even think about that.
Yes. So the reason I love this show so much is because literally all I do with my life is listen to music, and it's been huge in my life since I was a child. My mom is obsessed with Prince, has his symbol tattooed on the back of her neck. The woman's crazy. Okay, so Desmond, I feel, just was modeled after Prince in that way. His home, just how Prince had his own compound, his own mansion thing, Purple Majesty, like, it's, the parallels are freaking amazing. When they have one of their final performances, like, one of the characters I saw was, like, I think his name is Willie Nelson. Totally. It was him to a T, how he wears his hair, everything. Just all of those parallels were fantastic to me. And
I can't find an amazing picture, but wasn't it also FKA Twigs and
Yes.
GGK?
yes.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll post like one. Let's see. But yeah, just like that, even the alien persona and like the way that she looks
Yes.
was similar.
What?
Even her sound is very similar to FKA Twigs as well. And I freaking love it.
Oh, that's
Like,
rad.
They really dug deep into having the parallels of certain musicians in this anime. And it was like little treasures every time I got to I was like, oh, that's who that's supposed to be. Or, oh, that's who they're modeled after. And, oh, that's just amazing. It just blew my mind how many things were there, how many people were there. It was great. Like, I feel like Flora may have been modeled after Whitney Houston.
Oh.
Because if you look at the story, come on now. How can you not see those parallels?
Oh my god. It's very possible. I want to just sit and listen to Jazz's theories for like 20 minutes. But actually, just piggybacking off this so I don't forget just how much this is musically ingrained, Cammy let me know before the show even started airing that for Carole, I think for Carole and Tuesday, I don't know if they did this for all the other singers, but they did a worldwide audition to get the voices for Carole and Tuesday. Cammy could have auditioned. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Sure.
But the fact that they did, that is just unheard of. The fact that they held worldwide auditions for these singing voices. I'm just blown away.
And the fact that both Carole and Tuesday were already established artists. Carole is sung by Nabier, I think is how you pronounce it. It's spelled really funky.
Yeah, with the two X's or whatever.
Yes, and she is from Atlanta, I believe. And then Tuesday is, I think her name is Selena Ahn.
You are correct.
And she is, and she's Japanese and American, I think.
Nice.
But they both have their own Spotifys. They have cute stuff. It's good. You should listen to it.
Yes.
I will. I love seeing them rock out in the booth together, too. I've seen a couple of, GIFs and videos of them singing the Carole and Tuesday songs together.
It makes my heart happy.
It's just quality.
It is.
That's awesome. Yeah. Do we want to get into the characters?
Yes.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Please. I need to talk about my baby daddy.
I want Craig to go first because this is such a good boy he's about to talk about.
Yes.
So Roddy basically is friends with everyone and basically is probably the anime equivalent of me. Let's be real.
Oh,
yes.
He's basically, I don't know. He's a music technician, right? But I don't know if he works for Erdogan, but also is friends with Gus. But Erdogan lets him essentially help with Carole and Tuesday's work. So it's really cool how he's just able to help. He's part of the crew essentially, with Gus and Carole and Tuesday. And he just basically tries to help them get big. He has connections and he tries to help out any way he can.
yeah. He's a really sweet boy. And they take the time to give you details of when they are performing, you see him just smiling really fondly at seeing how they're doing, and I'm just what a good, sweet, supportive boy. And he's also a giant weeb.
Yep, he's such a weeb, and he also takes the brunt of all of the shenanigans that they put him in. Yeah, and he just what a good trooper. What a trooper.
And again, since I've watched this in the English, his voice actor is Zach Aguilar, who's Tanjiro and Demon Slayer, and I'm just oh, this is such a good boy. He's good on him. He's Violet and Fire Emblem. I'm yeah, that's pretty well done. I don't know who he's voiced by in Japanese, mind you, but I think it was pretty good. Fitting.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but he has a very soft, sweet voice.
Nice.
Yes.
He's good.
Can I tell you why Erdogan lets him work with Carole and Tuesday?
Ooh, are you getting into the shit we discovered when we... Okay,
yes,
cool.
I am. Because, in one of the first scenes you see with him and Erdogan, and Carole and Tuesday have their huge thing before they go viral or whatever, Erdogan is talking about how women are so attracted to him, But then he leans in close and is like, boys are okay too. So, in reality, Roddy is just a super bisexual, adorable bottom to Ertegun, and Ertegun's too in love with him to tell him not to, to not let him do what he wants.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
I mean, I could see it.
Mm-hmm. I ship it a little bit. It's cute. Because he says something about, like, work hard, Roddy, because I only like successful men. And I was like, ooh.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's where I was like, ooh, 2 bisexuals? Hell yeah, I'm happy. And it just got better from there.
It's good stuff. I love Roddy. He is a super good boy. Jazz, you want to tell us about another good boy?
My baby daddy, you mean? Yes.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. Ezekiel is everything. He is...
He's got swagger.
He does.
Yes.
That music video, though.
Let me just tell y'all that Jazz was texting me, and it was like midnight my time, and she's just like, Cammy, I'm in love with Ezekiel. Ezekiel's so hot.
Mm-hmm.
Cammy, ah!
The second I saw him, I was like, that's my baby daddy. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the
God.
second I saw him. Okay, not only is he gorgeous, but his lyrics are straight fire, okay?
They are, though. Yeah.
Okay, how do I talk about him without spoiling anything, because he shows up in the second half?
I don't think you really can, because a lot of shit happens with him.
You can.
Yeah.
I think you could talk about his struggles, maybe just not necessarily the way that he is connected to main characters.
Yes. Okay. So he is an immigrant from Earth, living on Mars and making fantastic music. His music is all about where he comes from, the struggle he goes through, and it's breathtaking. His lyrics make you feel something. And it's like, if you've ever been in a situation that has been super difficult and you didn't know how you were going to get out of it, his lyrics take you there, and they make you feel like, they get you pumped to like, I'm gonna work through this. I'm gonna get there, and nothing is gonna keep me down. And that's one of the things I love about him so much, on top of the fact he's gorgeous.
Nice.
One of the things that I also love about him is he is one of the first artists we see to really take a very specific stance against the political issues going on in the background, and knowing full well what's going to happen when he does. But he is a embodiment of, we need to protect the power of music, even if one of us has to go down for it. And I love him.
Yeah.
He's so brave.
I love the fact that his vocals are Denzel Curry.
What?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Oh my god, Get and I love Denzel Curry. What the fuck? Okay.
Yes.
Oh my god, I have to go talk to Get about this later. That's so fucking cool. Okay.
Right?
Yes, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh shit, fam. Okay, good stuff.
Yes.
Also, actually, I'll just touch on this very briefly. We could have mentioned it in story. We'll probably talk about it more in production. But the fact that we have so many different genres of music artists in this show is hecka cool.
It's awesome.
So, yeah, I didn't expect we'd get rap in the show, so that was very cool.
Yeah.
The halfway point just proved that, where I'm like, oh.
That's true.
Oh, this is American Idol.
Yes.
Rad.
We had
sisters.
we had like a rock opera singer. Like,
yes.
I was so sad when he didn't come back.
Right.
I loved him.
His opera rap was rapping in Latin, first of all. Holy shit. Like,
right?
Are you talking about Sibel?
Okay.
No.
Sibel's
Okay.
in French.
Okay.
Sibel's a character.
Yes.
Sibel is.
Sibel.
Hold on,
Okay.
I've got the name. It was OG Bulldog.
Oh,
Yes.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
The big guy who pretended that he was like super cool
Hard.
and powerful. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
that one.
Yeah.
Love him.
I loved him, and he never came back.
I was
and I'm
actually
so sad.
I'll talk about it later in spoilers, but there's like one minor nitpick I had about the ending.
Well, we can talk
Okay.
about that later, for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, before I get us back into bigger characters, back on the Mars Brightest, whatever. Okay, Piotr is such a fucking, like, shithead the entire time.
Bruh.
And I'm like, this motherfucker's not going to be able to sing. His music starts and he starts dancing. He opens his mouth and I'm like, this is not allowed to be this sexy.
Wasn't
What?
I thought the same thing. Thought the same thing.
Fair. Like, how does he go?
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh my god.
Ow.
He's such a heartthrob, but he chooses to be stupid.
Right?
It's crazy.
It's like, just leave it to your
Lily
swagger.
Hated him.
Of course.
Hated him.
I dug him because he's essentially like a fucking like Instagram, YouTube up and comer. He's just like, I'm an influencer.
You know, I'm really about to like piss myself off, and probably all of you, about who he just reminded me of.
Who?
Justin fucking Bieber, god damn it.
Yeah.
No!
God damn
I mean,
it.
she has a good point.
I mean,
Don't ruin
it's
this
app.
for me.
Like, I hate
Don't
Justin
ruin
Bieber
this.
so
So
much,
do
but
I.
sometimes when he opens his mouth, I'm
Words
just like,
come
oh,
out.
gross. I could feel myself swooning disgustedly.
You're
Exactly.
transported.
You
God,
get it.
Fucking Piotr. Okay.
You get it.
Okay. So
baby, baby. Oh.
No! Get out,
Oh,
Cassie.
no.
Go away. Get out.
I don't know if I have the composure to transition over for this, but I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about Carole and Tuesday, because I love both Carole and Tuesday a whole lot. Like, I was honestly debating just having both of them as a unit as my picture, because I think that they function so strongly as a unit.
They do.
And that's something, like, they're both incredibly lovable. And I think at the end of the day, just what it was for me, I think I got very engaged with Carole's little arcs that she goes through. There's a few that she goes through that are very poignant. And also just, I don't know how to really say this, but, like, she comes from a hard life and a lot of, like, struggles, but I feel like she doesn't really, like, advertise them or use them to just make herself a victim. She's very, like, humble and just wants to go get out there and seek the opportunity that is in front of her. She's very strong in that way, in, like, a very humble and kind and caring way. She's so caring for, like, Tuesday and even like the landlord, the people around her. She's just very good-hearted and a hard worker, and I really liked seeing her growth, her successes, and when she, felt upset about things, I felt for her. So yeah, she's real good. I like her. I like her a lot.
I like how she doesn't take anything for granted. She just lives in the moment and really, like, the thing that gets me about her is she always, like, she always tries to get, like, a part-time job and then gets fired from it, like, almost immediately. And she's just circling through ads on her phone with Tuesday. And they're just like, it's a point later in the show where they go somewhere and it's like, I went here for a part-time job once. I got fired for laughing. I was like,
I love that one.
Speaking of
Carole.
her not of her like ongoing like job search and failure, like another thing she does is she doesn't take people's shit, which is also a reason she also often gets fired. One of the most satisfying scenes to me with Carole, outside of some like very emotionally charged scenes with some waves and eye flicks goodbye, but one of the most like impactful scenes for me is this like chauvinistic dude and like ordering her around, and then she just like fucks them up. I loved it. She's great.
Yes.
Oh, in the
I wish I
laundry
could
room?
do that at work.
She's so willing also to protect Tuesday. Like she would easily take a bullet for Tuesday.
Yes.
And I'm like, this friendship is just so powerful.
I love the fact that she, like Cammie said, she doesn't use her bad past experiences as a crutch. They're not a crutch to her. If she sees them, she acknowledges them, and she uses them as a stepping point to continue to move forward. Like, I don't want to be in this situation anymore. I'm going to use it. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to continue to grow and I'm going to bring my friends up with me. I love the way that she and Tuesday they click, they fit from the moment they met. And she helps to uplift Tuesday out of a lot of her insecurities. And I love that Tuesday helps Carole actually show more emotion and actually realize some of her feelings. And the way that they play off each other like that is incredibly beautiful. The strength of their friendship is magnificent.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Why are you so good at this, Jasmine?
Yeah, let's just have the Annie Jazz cast. Just let her talk.
Annie Jazz cast!
Like, just have her talk for like an hour and a half and we just listen and get schooled.
No!
No, you're just so poetic with everything, and it makes me so happy that this show could bring forth that passion for you. I watched the first maybe like 6 episodes with Jazz when I was still in Portland, and we just kept going, and it was really fun, and it was good.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Cassie, why don't you tell us about the other half of the duo, the sweet girl?
I totally will, but first I wanted to make one more point about Carole that you guys pointed out, is that there are lots of times where people will try and ask her about her past or try and dredge up feelings, sometimes on national television, and she still keeps her composure and really maintains her self-identity, and I love her for that. But anyway, Tuesday's a mess, and that's why I love her. She is so relatable. I think that one of the first things that happens between Carole and Tuesday after they run off together, which, by the way, bridge scene, another one of my favorite ones in the entire show, where they're just running off together, and they're like, "What's your name, Carole? You born on Christmas? I don't know. What's your name? Tuesday? You born on a Tuesday? I don't know."
They just start laughing.
And they just start laughing and run off together, and they're just a friendship made in destiny. And destiny!
No.
Destiny!
And Carole gives to Tuesday so much just common sense that she didn't get because she was a rich girl. And she don't know how to clean. She doesn't know how to get a job. She doesn't know how to do anything. And Carole just kind of takes her under her wing. But then Tuesday in turn is able to give her the kind of like grounding in music that she didn't have on her own. Because Carole used to go out and, play on the bridge all the time by herself. And then Tuesday rolled on in and is like, I'm your missing puzzle piece. We're going to fit together perfectly and make good music.
You just referenced one of the song lyrics.
Yes, I did!
I see you!
How dare you? How dare you?
But that's another thing. Like, a lot of their songs, they're singing to each other.
Yes.
And it's always, you empower me, you've saved me, you made me a better person, you complete me, you make me want to pursue my dreams. Like, it's in their music and it's in their actions, and this is just a friendship that transcends love and understanding, and you very rarely get to see it in any media, let alone anime. Like, their connection is just so genuine. I think another thing is they as a band are also very genuine. There's an episode where they're trying to think of a way to be flashy, and they eventually realize, that's not what we need to do. We just need to sit on stage and rock our little hearts out in our own way.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I love is them as a unit, but also I think something that Carole brings out of Tuesday and something that Tuesday brings out of Carole. They just complete each other. Carole is the street smarts and the rock that keeps Tuesday stable enough to be, the thing that helps her when she falls down, gives Carole enough leeway to fall down if she needs to. And I think that that's just so beautiful, and I just love them so very much.
Yeah. I loved what you were saying about that their songs are to each other, and even in the way that they present themselves in a band, it really purports a sort of, I want the world to see us the way that I see you. Basically with how modest and like real and down to earth they are, because they know that who each other is as a person is valuable and is precious and should be appreciated. That's so sweet.
Yes.
God damn it.
Yeah. Lyrically, their songs are like, I wouldn't call them folk music. It's like not folk music like Inside Llewyn Davis or anything like that,
Indeed.
but I just love Tuesday's acoustic guitar. I love how quiet and soft the music is versus, again, going back to that diametrically opposition of Angela, very technological, poppy, in your face. And it's just like each, like lyrically, you could probably, you read into it and you're like, okay, they're talking about the moment that they're in their lives. And a lot of Carole, as Kat said, a lot of Carole Tuesday's music is talking to each other, talking about the moment that they're in, moving forward, getting stronger, etc.
A lot of their music is also about harmonizing, and I think that that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I feel like their music would be categorized as indie, because indie is a lot of acoustic guitar or very simple sounds.
Yeah.
It's really soft and like, I feel that they are so purely, their sound, it's so pure. And their love is so pure. To see a platonic love like that, it's so refreshing. The purity of it, you feel it through their music. You feel it when they look at each other in all of their situations and how they go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that Tuesday helped to bring that out in Carole, because Tuesday is so soft. She is so kind. She doesn't know any better. And like, sometimes it speaks to the privileges that she had and the lack of that Carole had. But the way that they balance each other out, it's pure, it is balanced, it is a sound of heaven, honestly. It's like one of the fucking harp strings.
And shoutouts to the script writing, because honestly, there's not that much drama between the two of them. There's like only one instance of it.
Not really.
And it gets resolved very quickly.
It does, and they solve it by something that anime doesn't do very often, talking to each other.
Yeah,
like great.
I love that not once were they catty towards each other. They weren't even catty towards people who were being rude to them, like Angela and stuff like that. Like, they weren't catty, and they still tried to understand other people who weren't nice to them. Like, even Ertegun, like, sure, they didn't like him, but, like, they tried to understand. And I love that there wasn't that cattiness, because it almost speaks to the naivety of them at some times, but it speaks to their purity as well.
Okay, so if there's one good thing that I really liked out of that the episode about like Tuesday and the reporter, is there's a scene in the snow at the end of the episode, and like that literally just like made the episode for me. That scene is beautiful. It's so tender and just got right in my feels.
Yes.
Can I just say Carole with her hair down, not bad.
Yeah.
I wish Carole wore her hair down more often. Like, she's gorgeous. But I just love when she just has her hair down at home.
Yep.
I also love that Tuesday's hair is always a fucking mess when they're at home. It's amazing.
Yes.
She is such a mood.
It's real. I also love the fact... Sorry, Cass.
No, go ahead.
I love speaking of their hair, like the versatility in all of the hairstyles of all of the characters.
Yes.
Like the different textures. You can tell that there's dreads. You can tell that the different everything. And as a hair person, that is chef's kiss. Fantastic.
Yeah. I want Angela's hair so bad. I love Angela's hair.
You can get it.
It's so poofy.
It's so good.
Cammy can easily achieve that.
It's poofy, but it's formed. Actually, so I guess before we go on to production, I did want to just quickly mention, like, execution I wish was better, because I really do enjoy a lot of aspects about Angela's character. I was getting really into her during the last couple circuits of Mars Brightest, where she is saying things about how the songs are being made and how that like reflects her heart, and kind of she's getting more of a sense of her own drive, which is really important to her character. And then it just like, and then other things happen and they're dramatic, and I still care about her. I got really concerned for her by the end.
Yeah,
I did too.
Yes,
I was so anxious.
Oh God,
I didn't think I was gonna like her, and I love her. She's baby.
Yeah, she's great.
I love that at first, again, like, I hated her guts the moment I met her.
Right.
And then I realized
she's
she's just a fucking tsundere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's just trying to protect herself in a lot of ways. But the way she views Carole and Tuesday is really cool. I liked their dynamic, and I liked them as rivaling, like, as rivals. And the fact that she also acknowledges Carole and Tuesday as a rival. Like, they could have had so much more fun with that in the second half, and then it just, like you said, Cammy, it took a very big turn for the dramatic, and in some ways I was in, and then in some ways I was like, this is weird, but okay, we're gonna go there.
Yeah. I just wish we got more and that it could have been better handled because I cared a lot about her character, but I feel like in the second half they were just like, we're just gonna basically slap like plot things on you, and that's kind of what you're there for.
I felt the same way about Tao.
Yeah. We're gonna get into spoiler room about that because I have feelings.
Yes, all of them.
Tao was voiced by Hiroshi Kamiya in the Japanese sub, so like even when he was creepy, I was like, you're so attractive because you have Hiroshi Kamiya's voice.
Yes.
He's voiced by Kyle McClary in the English cast, as you know, 9S, your boy, Mob.
Oh, fuck.
So to hear this soft but cold voice, because he lacks emotion.
I just realized that out of anybody in the cast, he's probably the one who has the most ASMR voice.
He does!
Yeah.
Also, though, I fucking love the part when Angela's just like, you are, like, inhuman. And he just looks and he has this fucking smirk on his face. And he's like, I get that a lot.
He's such a, like, I like him, but I don't like him. I feel like he's, in some ways, some wasted potential.
Yes.
Because they could have done so many more interesting things with him and his research, but...
Yeah, his resolution's not that satisfactory in my mind's eye.
No.
Again, I mostly chalk it up to bad plot writing and execution than the characters themselves, because again, they, like, wrap this giant fucking big plot around him. And it's just a bummer, because I really liked Angela and Tao and their storyline, and I just wish it was delivered better in the end.
I feel that if they had started a lot of the heavy stuff that shows up in part 2, like, in the first part, if they would have, like, slowly been leaking that in there, it would have been much more satisfactory, and they could have added so much more to make it complete.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I think we're all kind of in agreement that the cast is all really enjoyable. And, you know, I think, like, again, kind of like with plot elements like Cassie mentioned before, even though not all of the characters got as much spotlight as I wanted, I enjoyed them and wanted to know more about them just as I kept watching. So they were strong in that way. All right. Production thoughts? Craig's
oh my god. I can't wait. This is my favorite part.
I mean, how long has it been?
Craig's Credit Corner.
It's been 84 years.
It has.
Director
Missed it.
Shinichirō Watanabe, as you know, he's done Shampoo, Cowboy Bebop. He did Kids on the Slope, Terran Resonance. Go watch these things. I have yet to watch Cowboy Bebop and all of Samurai Champloo, which is sad.
I haven't watched Cowboy Bebop either. It's on my shame list.
Yeah. He's the chief director. Apparently, what is it? Motonobu Hori was also assistant director on this. This is written by Aya Watanabe, according to my anime list. I did not glean if Aya Watanabe is related to Shinichiro, so take that with a grain of salt. The character designer, beautiful character designs, Eisaku Kubonochi. First work. The music is produced by Maki, Mocky, a Canadian singer, producer, songwriter, and composer. First anime production. Source is an original. Fun fact about this, let's see here. The series is in commemoration of the 20th anniversary of Bones and the 10th anniversary of the record label flying dog.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Shoot. I really so as far as the art goes, I really love the overall look of this anime.
Mm-hmm.
The character designs, the colors, the cityscapes are insane. The little like futuristic details, like when they go to the restaurants and the menus are like holographic pull-ups and you just click everything.
I want that future. I want that future. I just want everything to be Iron Man.
You know? Yes, because Tony Stark is.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. And I love the character designs. I love all of the different outfits that the characters wear. There's some good fashion in this show.
I need
Super
every
cool.
last one of Carole's outfits.
I want Carole's overall outfit a lot, and I want most of Tuesday's wardrobe.
I want Tuesday's entire wardrobe. I kept talking about it the entire time me and Lily were watching it. I was like, I want her clothes. I want her clothes. I want her little pink beret. I want everything.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think as far as animation goes, I think they overall did pretty dang well.
Yeah.
I feel like it started to slip in the second half, but like what 24 episode show kind of doesn't, at this point.
But they never slumped when it came to the instrument playing. I don't think I ever noticed CGI hands.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they, and like, just the way the instruments looked and the way they were played, like, the way the fingers were moving, like...
Very fluid.
That's where a lot of their animation budget went, I'm 90% sure.
Yeah, which definitely it should be. So they put it in the right places as well. They definitely allocated it in parts where it matters.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to potentially see if, like, on the Blu-ray release, some of the performances will look a little better. I'd like to see Mother, like, pristine. But they did a good job, and they kind of went the method with, I guess it's probably rotoscoping with the performances, kind of like Yuri on Ice did, with some of the movement, basically. So you could tell, and when it was really good, it was really, really good. Oh my goodness. I loved it.
I think sometimes the mouths weren't necessarily in time with the lyrics, but at some point I'm like, at least they're doing this. If this was any other anime, it would be a still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they show you the audience in between.
Oh yeah, they always use the same audience. I laughed.
Yep. They used the same audience. You know what other shot I could probably go back, I think they used at least 15 times, is the shot of Ziggy in the room when he's, like, sleepily blinking. They showed it, like, a million times.
Yeah.
But it's so
I was like, there's that shot of Ziggy.
And every time Artigan came on, they always had that light on fire bullshit introduction. But I was fine with it. It was whatever.
I mean,
I love Artigan.
That you could totally push off and be like, it's his entrance. He's so picky. It has to be. So...
It's his transformation sequence.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Overall, I think it was pretty damn solid. I think the character design was also great. Like, the artwork was great, and the animation was pretty solid and shined where it needed to.
Yes.
They have mouths.
They do.
Yes, they have lips.
I love it.
They have noses.
Oh, no.
It's so amazing.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my Lanta.
Well, if we're going to do that, oh my.
Good stuff.
Also, can we for a second talk about the OPs and the EDs?
Of course.
Yes.
You gotta tell me what your guys' favorite was, because at first my favorite opening was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more I listened to the second opening, the more it just got stuck in my head, and I was like, I love this song. I love the visuals. I love the one part in the second opening where they're walking around and changing instruments.
Oh, and Polygyne, right?
And Polygyne, yeah. So I think I love both openings so much, and they are both some of the best of this year and some of the best openings I've seen, period, in terms of art direction and song.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so very Carole Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I gotta know what your guys' favorite ones are.
I don't know if I can pick one because they both just make me want to move and just chill and have like a wine cooler in my hand and just relax.
I think Kiss Me is still my favorite. There's some sort of kinetic, like, animation in the beginning, like when they're both walking on their own, and then when the beat kicks in, and right as Carole kicks in and her foot like hits it right on the note, and she's like dancing on the bridge and stuff. It's just it's so beautiful and like urban, and I think I vibe more with like the urban sound a little bit. I will say I listened to Polly Jean when I was watching an episode when I was high, and I was like, this is like the most peaceful I have ever felt in my entire life.
Oh my god. Cammy,
it was beautiful.
Next time you come to visit, me, you, and Jazz just need to eat an edible and listen to Carole and Tuesday music.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
It's so comforting. My god.
Yes, I can guarantee you I'll actually be able to speak to you when we do that.
Yes.
Honestly, Jazz, one of my most fond memories of our friendship is being completely crossfaded and laying on my bed and talking about the like politics and the like humanity side of witches getting counseling from other witches.
I mean,
Oh my god.
that was a great night.
That sounds amazing.
It was a great night. And then we went into talking about the stars too and how that great night, Cass. It was amazing.
Good times.
Definitely have to do it again.
For sure.
You were lucky I could still like speak, because usually when I'm crossfaded, you can be talking to me and I won't hear a word, and then I'll be like, huh, what? And laugh.
Yep.
That's it.
Mm.
That's all you get. I'm in a whole nother universe. I'm on Mars, guys.
I can feel the universe. I can feel the Carole and Tuesday music on Mars.
You're gonna be fucking GGK, Jazz.
Yes. Okay, not gonna lie. I also want her outfit when she's on stage.
Oh, that shit was so
Oh my
cool.
god!
Yes.
All the shimmering
Yes.
outfits. Oh, I want to watch her
beautiful.
performances. High shoot.
Right?
Yes.
Please.
Oh damn.
Hers and Crystal's first performance. Her outfit does something very similar with how the light shines on it, and I'm just like, yes, marry me, because Crystal's my wife, Ezekiel is my baby daddy. So, just
You have a very interesting love life.
I do. Thank you.
Craig, which opening was your favorite?
That's a good question. I agree with you. I think I like Kiss Me a little bit more because I like just the shots that show up in it, as well as like them playing for a crowd. And then, just give it to Angela and basically, was it Not Afraid?
The
second that song is so
the second
good.
ending. I love that ending.
God,
I'm gonna be honest. I still prefer the first ending because "Hold Me Now" is one of my favorite songs. But that second ED was amazing too.
Yeah, no, they're both super good, and they're also very different. So,
exactly.
It's almost like I don't even know if I could pick a favorite out of those two because they're so different. Not Afraid. Well, and then I can't even say Not Afraid is my favorite Angela song because I really liked a lot of Angela's songs too. I don't know.
Move
There's
mountains,
just so much
dog. Move mountains.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Mountains,
Yeah.
Move
mountains. Let's be like all of the songs are so damn good.
Yeah.
In this, you can't ask me to pick a favorite song by Carole and Tuesday. It's impossible.
I mean, you can ask me. That doesn't mean I have to answer you.
There you go. There you go. Yes.
You can ask me a lot of things.
I have a favorite song by Carole and Tuesday. So.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want me to say it?
Yeah, we're waiting.
Yes.
No, you can keep waiting.
Whispering My Love is
Fuck
a good
off,
track by them.
No.
Whispering. Oh yeah.
Yes, I love that one, but I'll Find My Way Home is definitely my favorite. It's definitely
that one's
my
beautiful.
favorite.
I just need to listen to their the entire discography from the show, like everybody's songs.
Yeah, and it is on Spotify. The whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Someday.
Yep. I agree. Find My Way Home is so good and so tranquil, and just that echo of "There's no need to be sad. You're on a path. You'll find where it's at" is so comforting and good. I love, what's funny, when I first heard just like in episode 1 what they were doing with Loneliest Girl, I wasn't sure I'd really like love it, but the final version of it, it's powerful. It's
everything.
So good.
It hits
but also,
me and my heart feels.
Yes.
Yes. I'll be honest though, because I'm a dork. Round and Laundry is probably my favorite because I love that one.
I love that one too.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a wrong answer to this question.
But she said she couldn't pick, though. So, she just picked.
She obviously lied to me.
She did. See,
no.
That's tiny little Satan right there. That's TLS.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Damn.
Oh my god!
Damn.
No!
Craig, do you have
Also,
a favorite Carole Tuesday song?
Like I said, Whispering My Love is good. Loneliest Girl, when it, as they develop it, as the show goes along, is really good.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I have more Angela tracks written down than Carole Tuesday tracks.
Listen,
I even love the...
You're allowed to be wrong, Craig.
Breathe again. Breathe again. I mean, come on.
Just the emotion. How they make Angela songs makes me really happy, and how it's like, you know, how they do that. I'm not going to like go into detail.
Yeah.
But like, the ones where she finally is like, I'm singing this for me, like I'm not singing this for you. I love her. I love her.
Yeah.
She's baby. Angela's baby, okay?
I really love... I don't know the name of the person who sang for her, but I love her voice. It's beautiful.
Angela?
Alyssa.
Alyssa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Angela's singer. Yeah. Again, who might actually have their own stuff. I'll have to look into that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, just... Honestly, I think, like, the one song that I usually skip on the Carole Tuesday soundtrack is... Who Am I, the greatest? Because it's just Artigan doing, like, DJ stuff, and I'm like,
okay,
yeah.
But that gets me pumped AF.
Bum, 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 yeah.
And then he has it might be a slight spoiler, but he has that crossover with Angela, which is pretty fucking dope.
All right, we get your bias, Gregory.
That is my bias, 100%. I love Erdogan and
shit.
I love Angela.
Good shit, fam.
I mean, I love them too.
Yes.
I honestly, there's only one song that I was not a huge fan of, and it was Artigan and Angela's like crossover where she sang almost entirely in auto-tune.
Oh yeah.
But that's just a personal thing. I'm not a huge fan of auto-tune singing.
Who do you wish you heard more of?
Who
do you wish you heard more of?
Oh.
Desmond.
Yes. I wish I heard more Skip.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a good question.
OG dog.
I wish I heard more. I wish I heard more Ezekiel. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd be down.
My baby daddy is great though.
Yeah. What was I? I can't remember what I was gonna say. I blanked. My bad. There's just a lot of good music in the show. I think that music, like, I think everything is really good, but like music for me is definitely the production highlight. Like, you know, I can't think of another music show that produced this much like really cool, really diverse original music.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good on them for that. They really dedicated themselves to the genre.
And let's be real, if the music sucked, this anime would have sucked. So
True.
Yeah.
they put their production values where they needed to put them. So
It is no more apparent for me when I was watching this at my folks' place. You know, just binging it because they just dropped the part 2 on Christmas Eve. So shout outs to that. What a Christmas gift, Netflix. Thank you. But when they got to the American Idol or Mars Brightest, and then you had the pair of old men who screamed death metal, I'm just like so off put, but I'm like, yes, we're gonna get diverse music and no more fucking on the opposite side of the spectrum as those 2 old men are, and then on the other side is Carole Tuesday, where there's just like 2 totally different music types. Awesome.
Okay. I totally remembered what I blanked out on, but fucking shout out to the Mermaid Sisters.
Yes.
I love them, and I love that song so much.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Fucking bullshit.
And there's a full version of it on Spotify.
There is,
Nice.
and I live for it. Please tell me you've listened to those old men, like when on their Spotify, you have their full version of their song too. Please tell me you've listened to the
old
lyrics.
men? What?
Yes. Please tell me you've listened to the lyrics.
I have not. I have to do that.
I'm not even gonna spoil that for you because I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? But okay, I'm here for it. Scream, old men, scream.
Oh my god. So, just a show of hands, who watched it subbed? I did. Jazz, did you continue to watch it subbed?
I watched it subbed all the way through.
I watched it subbed as well. And that actually brings up another production thing that I wanted to ask everybody, but I'll wait till everybody says what they watched it in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Craig, you already said you watched it in dub, right?
I'm the only person that ever likes to watch things dub if I have an option.
Oh, that's not true. I immediately went to the Fruits Basket dub. Please and thank you.
I'll watch some dubs. My biggest thing, I actually tried Carole Tuesday in the dub, and I think it's pretty good, but I didn't feel like Carol's voice suited her.
Interesting.
So that kind of, yeah.
Interesting.
If I'm gonna be point blank, she sounded too white, so I just kind of.
Okay, I can get that. I can totally get that. When I looked at her on Behind the Voice Actresses, or voiceactors.com, I was like, huh, she voiced Rico from Love Live. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Honestly, when Cammy told me about how the voice sounded in English, I was like immediately off put. So I was like, I'm not even going to try to listen to it in English if the black character doesn't sound black. So
yeah, not that Japanese is like closer, but like when everybody's speaking Japanese, I was just like, okay,
yeah,
I'll just do that. Though I do think that the voice actress who portrayed Carole has a bit of a deeper voice that I think does suit Carole more. So there's that. But some of them, like, overall, it was pretty solid, though, from what I recall. And the side characters, like Gus and Roddy and everybody, also had really good voices.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about watching it in Japanese that took me time
out of it
to get used to is the fact that they went from speaking Japanese to singing in pure perfect English.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I get what they were going for, and I still think it was really beautiful, but I had to get over that hurdle in my brain that, okay, this is not supposed to be something that's so off-putting for me, but it was for a bit, and then I got used to it, and I was like, whatever. But it was something that took me time to get used to watching it in Japanese.
Yeah,
I don't even
that's
know
fair.
why.
I've been in a situation before, too, where I've watched shows dubbed, but then the singing is in Japanese. Like, sometimes that switch over just kind of irks you a little bit.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest one is obviously Tuesday always is like, Kararu, Karara, or whatever, how you say in Japanese, and then when she sings her happy birthday, she says Carol perfectly. And it just...
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it never bothered me, and I just guess it never, like, clicked for me in that way.
I wouldn't say it bothered me, it was just more I had to get used to it because it just kind of pulled me out for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is understandable. There's always aspects like that in certain shows. Like when I was watching Monster with my dad, like he just thought it would have been really weird to watch Monster subbed because everybody's like German and they're in Germany and they'd be like speaking Japanese. Like, so just that I think definitely happens occasionally. I think maybe what helped me be okay with it is that at least with like Carole and Tuesday, their appearances seemed more American or like English speaking.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it didn't. Maybe that's the only reason it didn't read for me for that. But I'm glad that eventually, like, it just you were able to adjust to it and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do we want to rate this sucker, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cammy gets to go last. I guess she can pick who goes first.
Cassie, go first, please.
Oh, I guess I volunteered myself, didn't I?
Yes,
Shit.
you did.
All right. I think that Carole in Tuesday is a good example of a messy masterpiece. It is something that is unique. It is something that pushed the boundaries of what animation can do and what it's capable of. And there should be more shows like it. I love the risks it took. Even when it didn't necessarily stick the landing, it was still on the mat and it still got a pretty decent score. I think that more people should be watching Carole in Tuesday. I think that more people should be listening to the soundtrack. And honestly, I always know that an anime really moved me when it makes me want to do something. When I watched Yuru Camp, it made me want to go buy a tent and go camping. Did the first part of that, didn't do the second yet. Working on that still, years later. One day, we will go camping. But Carole in Tuesday made me want to go buy a guitar. Not gonna do it, but it made me want to. It made me want to, make music. It made me want to be part of something, be part of a movement, be part of this group of artists. and really make a change in the world, even though it would be something very small. And I think that that's what Carole Tuesday embodies, is just making your one little scream into the universe and hoping somebody hears it. And I don't know a whole lot of shows that have been able to do that and impact me as much. As much as I was not on board, as much as I was with the first half as the second, I still cried like a little bitch baby at the end. So we all know that it worked. It was a great, great show. It's one of the best to come out this year, and I love this show a whole lot. I give it a love. It's good.
Yeah! Hell yeah! All right, Jazz. You're up.
Where do I even begin with this masterpiece? I like how, Cass, you called it a messy masterpiece. Like, everything in this just made me want to sing more. Every time I would, like, stop for the night, I would, like, go in my room and just turn on music and sing my heart out for a really long time. Because, you know, the way that my brain works sometimes, I was losing interest in things that I loved. And this just reignited my love for singing and music and made me want to continue doing it. This show speaks to so many different parts of my life and makes me want to strive to be better, to do better, and just reach for the whole world and hold it and take care of it and love it. One of my favorite things is the non-binary character. When that happened, I almost started crying immediately, because as a non-binary person, to see that representation and to see it in music and the way it was done so well, this show is like a little slice of heaven for me, and I love it, love it, love it. Everyone should watch it, give it a chance, and let it help you breathe. Let it take some weight off your shoulders.
Awesome. All right, Gregory, what do you have to say?
So, full disclosure, I'll show my hand right here with this. This is gonna make it in my top 6 for end of the year.
Hell yeah!
What? You too?
Yeah, same. What?
The goal I set out during my vacation and my focuses was to watch all that in Vinland Saga, and I did both of those. This made the cut. I do have some qualms with it. This property, like, I'm still on the fence of like it to love it. For right now, I think I'll say I really like the show. I like its music. I love Watanabe's just stewing in music and just love, like, his love letter, his final form. I think I need to gestate with this a little bit more to actually fully appreciate all of it, and to maybe watch more Watanabe in order to finally see where he came from and how he finally got here. Qualms aside, this, as Jazz said, watch this show. This show is fucking great. The girls are good. The characters are good. It's a little bit of qualms aside, which we will probably discuss here in a bit. It's fucking fun. And I highly recommend it. And just, again, as we plugged from several times, go check out their Spotify's, kids. They're really good.
Awesome. Well, now I don't know what to say, because Cassie posted a fucking gif of Piotr in the chat, and I just keep staring at it. So I'm gonna go ahead and scroll up here.
I'm so sorry to have thrown you off the groove.
You threw off my groove.
Excuse me, ma'am. You threw off the Emperor's groove.
Listen. Let Justin Bieber just get his Instagram followers. He's live streaming on Twitch, even though he's technically not supposed to, behind American Idol doors, but he's still gonna do it anyway. He needs the clicks.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's see. On that note, right out the gate of impressions, we talked about what anime of the spring season we thought would be really good or what we wanted to be really good, and I had very high hopes for Carole Tuesday. I wanted it to be something great, and I definitely think that, again, there are qualms, and maybe it wasn't exactly what I anticipated, but I think that it delivered something great. I think that, again, as Cassie said, a word that I could totally use to describe this show is ambitious, and boy, howdy, am I happy that it is ambitious as it was. The characters are so lovable. There's really important representation, not only within the narrative, but also the characters that are displayed. Great stuff that you don't see every day that makes it stand out as a gem with kind of the slog of monotonous anime that have been coming out. This was really just kind of a light in the tunnel for me. And I know that it hit really well because, you know, I put a bunch of songs from this on a Spotify playlist that Jazz and I share that reflect our friendship. I got to watch it with Jazz, and the fact that it means so much to Jazz means so much to Cassie, that Craig enjoys it. The people that I care about really love this show also makes it incredibly valuable. As someone who does love to sing, I sing along a lot. I sang along a lot to this show. I will play the songs like I took a dog for a walk yesterday and felt so serene listening to Carole Tuesday singing along. I like to put it on and sing when I'm getting ready during the day. There's just a lot that I think is going to stick with me through this show, primarily the music and primarily the wonderful characters. And I'm really glad I watched it. I love this show.
Nice.
And I really hope that if you haven't checked it out yet, you will do yourself a favor and give it a chance because it deserves it. So, yeah.
Real quick, I just wanted to just comment on like the music of the show. I was watching this at my parents' place, and my sister actually overheard the music, and I showed her the playlist on Spotify, and she added it, and she's been listening to the music like a lot recently because of this. So,
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Even non-anime fans can like this anime.
Oh, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it does so many contemporary things and things that are usually outside of anime as a whole, which is great.
No fan service.
At all.
Yeah! God
Love it.
damn.
I just
Which
recommended this show to my
huge-
little sister. It's fucking great.
Yes! Awesome. Alrighty. We're gonna go ahead and skip on into a spoiler room. Oh, but before we do, I almost forgot to make a recommendation. So if you liked this show and you're hoping to see more from Watanabe's work, see another music show, please check out Kids on the Slope or Sakamichi no Apollon. We mentioned multiple times it's also directed by Shinichirō Watanabe and tackles music, but in a way that I think is very different from Carole Tuesday. It does have the friendship aspect as well, but I think it leans a lot more on music as a way to stay together with people than necessarily music on like a big global scale. It's a much smaller show. Personally, it's one of my favorites of all time. It's very concise and powerful, and I totally think you should go watch it. It's real good.
Nice.
So that's a recommendation.
Yeah.
And then also, before we go, I will hit you with our social links. If you want to get in touch with us on Twitter, check us out at twitter.com/AnnieChatbox. You can send us an email at anniechatmail@gmail.com. If you want to listen to us, you can find us at iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube. That's right, we're everywhere. And if you want to donate some hot cash muns, if you're feeling generous, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/AnnieChatbox. Mega shout outs to Sarah, CorpsyAnn, Carole, Suki, Paul, and TroubleClef. We love you so much for all that you do. And of course, if you can't get enough of Gregory's voice and want to hear guest appearances by myself and Cassie, along with a lot of other folks, you can check out Save Our Progress at soundcloud.com/saveourprogress.
Woo!
And now, Cassie has too much power posting these GIFs. I'm really sad right now. We're gonna scoot on into our little comfy spoiler chairs. So if you don't want to be spoiled on this anime, which I don't spoil yourself. Just get out of here. Get.
Go.
Shoo.
Go run and achieve your dreams and then come back later.
There we go. Perfect. All right. I don't even know where to start.
Let's
I
Make
do remember
Jazz
when
pick.
they got booed off
Make
stage.
Jazz
It was very
pick.
sad. Ooh, make Jazz pick.
I
Yes.
had one, but Yeah, I'm curious.
Go,
Make
Gregory.
Jazz
Go.
pick.
Gregory, go.
Make Jazz pick. Make Jazz pick. Make Jazz
She's picking
pick.
Craig.
I'm picking Gregory.
Fine.
And Angela, like, literally getting hospitalized.
Yeah.
Fucking... I was like, holy shit, she overdosed on medication.
Yeah, I'm honestly, like, I had a tiny bit of suspension of disbelief that she, like, actually made it to the concert, because I was like, we saw her fucking popping pills back at home. But
Yeah.
I don't know the reaction time of
Grammys. I'm like,
overdoses,
Jesus.
so...
But honestly, as somebody who has like accidentally overdosed on medication, it doesn't necessarily hit you right away.
Yeah.
Depending on the pills that she
it's
took.
not immediate.
And from what it sounded like, she overdosed on painkillers and antipsychotics.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
And
Lord
those
knows
take
how
up to
her...
an hour to kick in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But I did have a suspension of disbelief that she immediately went to drug abuse. That was a bit much for me, but I don't know.
I feel like there were signs of it earlier on in the show. When she's at her apartment, it's very brief. It's very, like, you have to be looking for it in order to see it. The fact that she's taking her pills and stuff like that. And, like, with stress, those times where she's super stressed out, she'll take maybe one or two more. Like, I noticed it. So it was like oh shit, this is going to happen and I don't want it to happen. And it was right after talking about Flora. And that's what happened with Flora. It was like, no, don't do it, baby. Don't do it.
It was also just really sad because, I mean, you do realize that a lot of the abuse that she went through with Dahlia was due to drugs. Like, Dahlia even says, like, it was the drugs that made me angry, but, like, I'm better now. And so it's really sad that after that loss, she would also turn to that. That's pretty sad. Oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
I will say one of the most impactful moments of her drug abuse is when she's like seeing Tao getting arrested or something, and she pops a few pills and throws it at the screen. I was like, okay.
Sends a message saying, help me.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, the help me message broke me. Especially because
the help me message.
He didn't answer. Like,
right?
What the fuck, dude?
And it's like, you got some fucking nerve to show up after not answering. Like, yeah, I get it, my guy. You're doing your thing. You're trying to, like, make it so that she can still do what she wants. And sure, they've talked about how you're like a robot throughout the whole show, but how dare you? How fucking dare you show up only to leave again?
By the way, we're designer babies, bye.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was weird.
What?
Yeah, that was a really weird thing that they didn't need to do, but they did for some reason.
Test tube babies, baby. Test tube babies. That's why we don't know our parents. Still don't know why I don't have a personality or emotion, but I'm a mad scientist apparently on the side.
Yeah, and it's like, if they would have talked about that as something, as an undercurrent, it would have made more sense for the reveal, but it's like, the fuck?
Yeah, like, that was really the main moment for me where I was like, oh, by the way, plot drop. And I'm like, no, it didn't work and we don't need it. And it's like, it's weird. And I love it when we destroy, just like, not that I, you know, like I super needed them to get together, but I justified like Angela's feelings for Tao. And then it's like, nope, you're sibs, bye. And I'm like,
well,
I hate
it doesn't
that.
necessarily mean that they're siblings. They were just made by the same person. It doesn't mean that they were made by the same sperm.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
It's just a lot to drop randomly in a conversation and then leave. Like,
yeah. And like have that be her resolve. Like, I just wish that she had a better executed like resolve for when she finally comes up and is like, hey, I'm ready to sing again. I think that's honestly like probably honestly my biggest part. I found it really sorry, what?
I feel like she was cheated a lot, honestly.
She was.
There's so many things that they start with her and half-ass finish or don't finish at all. And then that's how they end it for her. I'm like, come on, she deserved better. Like, she had the opportunity for, like, not that she necessarily needed a redemption arc, but for her to show that growth and to not be a dick to Carole and Tuesday. Like, there was much more that could have been done there, you know?
There was definitely opportunity. She reminded me in a lot of ways of Rue for Princess Tutu as far as an antagonist, but like Rue got an amazing amount of time to sit with what she dealt with and then have that development arc to lead to where she is at the end. And unfortunately, Angela, I just think, didn't have the same opportunity.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it definitely was a situation that felt kind of cheated.
I felt she got cheated out of her victory, too, because she got the like, best new artist thing,
at
which was a big deal at the Grammys, and she didn't even get to celebrate that, which I guess to an extent was
part
in
of the
some
plot
ways
for her.
Good, like, dramatic tension, but in others I'm like, but did you really have to, though?
Well, also, it's like, before she, like, the cause of her overdose is her mom died. I'm like, what? Wow, the drama just dialed up to 11 with you. Like, what the fuck happened? And Carole and Tuesday are over off and, like, chilling with Toby, where he's drinking whiskey, and they're like, well, you little shits, you're gonna make an album. And Angela's like, my world is crumbling apart, what the fuck?
But if you think about it, like, from the jump, like, you see that they are slowly making her climb and climb and climb in dramatics for what's going on with her, for just that absolutely ridiculous release of drama, like, kicking her up to 11. But her stuff just climbs and climbs, like, with the stalker guy and everything. Like,
oh, Black Knight.
Yeah, they make it go through the roof, and it's like, I get that this is pertinent to her story, but where is it also pertinent to Carole and Tuesday, other than the fact that it's sabotaging their rivalry, and it's not even doing a good job of sabotaging their rivalry?
Well,
I mean, hell, I would have liked to see more rivalry, like actual interactions between Carole and Tuesday and Angela.
Yeah.
Like,
it's weird because I kind of got the Black Knight stuff because it's showing a side of, like, the industry. It's like, oh, you will get fans, and you will get shitty fans. And it with Carole and Tuesday, we kind of got that with Sibel a little bit.
Sibel, yeah.
Where Sibel's literally like, I will fucking harm you because you crossed me, bitch. You didn't join my team. I'm like, whoa, slow your roll.
I hated that bitch.
I thought it could have been something interesting they played with, though, too, because it really showed Tuesday's inability to say no to people.
Yeah.
And how that really led to Carole kind of blowing up at her. So I think it was good, but then Sibel gets arrested, and that's it.
That's that.
Yep.
Like, I just wish we could have gotten a little bit more there, because I think that what they were doing with it was interesting, if not uncomfortable to look at, but it is a part of, you know, the industry. People are going to be weird fans. People are going to want to use you or threaten you. That burn she got on her hands was, like, really painful.
Oh my god, yes.
I'm gonna be honest with Sibel at first, like, just because of the weird things that they did with Sibel's character. When Tuesday got bit or whatever, I was like, okay, this is some sort of alien shit. And I wondered if she was going to be revealed to be some sort of alien, but also I wondered if what it was going to be like an Ursula and the Little Mermaid situation where she stole her voice.
Oh, God.
Kind of bummed it wasn't either of those, but that's okay.
No, she's just fucking crazy.
Weird.
Yeah, she's like, I put my mark on you. I was like, well, are you a fucking hypnotic alien or something? Or are you just crazy?
No, I am an alpha, and you're mine.
No. Yeah.
Good God.
That shit was just... And I was like, my lady, I know you're crazy, but she didn't give you any definite responses, and you're like, but I marked you, bitch. You didn't ask if you could mark her, so that's your fault for your misunderstandings. Christ. Like, consent is sexy, bitch. That wasn't sexy. Yes. That was just crazy.
Yes. I did find it kind of... Not peculiar. I don't know, because it led to character development, but I did think it was interesting and odd how we had almost 3 episodes, I guess, back to back, where first they're like, hey, here's this little love plot thingy for Tuesday, and now here's one for Carole. I think that Carole's was executed a bit better, and actually, like, I I like how they kind of just left it at like that song that he made for her. And then that was like all that was needed. Those two plot aspects, I was like, this is, I don't know if like we needed this, but okay, it's here.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, not gonna lie, I kind of liked the Ezekiel Carole thing. I just felt like with Tuesday and Kyle, it was like, he's an older guy. She's 17. And it shows that, again, it shows her naivety. But at the same time, it's like, my guy, you're not stupid. You're seeing this clearly. And you're using how she's feeling to get the information about her mom. But that's it.
You know, I didn't even read it that way.
Same.
Like, I just read it as he was wanting to meet with her to get information and talk, and all the stuff that he was saying was stuff that he really felt. I don't think that he led her on or anything.
Yeah,
but
she just got really, like, she made a weird jump to a point where she was like, I'm gonna go see him, and then sees him kissing his girlfriend, and she's like, oh, now I'm heartbroken. I'm like, what? You had no
I don't even know how
to this.
How did she even know he was there?
Right?
Also weird.
Right?
She just assumed he's gonna be at this place that he interviewed her at, and
right.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it could be her first crush or something, because she was locked up for a while. So, like, maybe that's why it seems so sudden for her. But still,
Maybe.
I was like,
I guess it's just most of the romantic aspects that they tried to tangle in felt kind of forced to me. I think for me, the one that I was most invested in, weirdly enough, was Angela and that. I liked Angela and Tao's dynamic, but of course it didn't do anything with it. And then actually, I really liked both storylines with Gus, like the sad one, and then basically I kind of ship him and Flora.
Totally.
I mean, me too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Guys,
Gus
when she came up and sang at the end, and he looked like he was gonna burst into tears.
My heart. That was like the first pinprick of tears for me.
Yeah.
And then, like, it flicks through all of those other people, and I was like, oh my god. I had to pause it at one point, because I was like, no, I'm not gonna cry. And then, like, I unpaused it, and then it shows her dad, and I was like,
yeah, like every problem I had with this show, I forgave for the very last couple of minutes.
Yeah.
The 7-minute miracle.
Yeah. I love when Gus just looks at the people trying to raid and is like, dude, it's just a song. And it's a good song. Just chill.
Yeah, the fucking SWAT team just comes in and storms the place. I'm just like...
Right? I almost wanted them to, like, get on stage and, like, actually try to shut it down, but it just stopped.
The weird little... This is a little weird hiccup that I had with the 7-minute miracle. You get Piotr and you get I'm forgetting her name. Yeah, GGK. Yeah, GGK. You get those two. Well, you didn't get like any of the other Mars Brightest like artists. Like I know it's like a slight nitpick, but I'm like, man, that would have been really rad to see the hard-boiled guy, but is actually soft boy showing up there too, or like the heavy metal old men.
I think it was just a matter of who they could have gotten a hold of.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I think it's realistic they wouldn't be able to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
I think it's also a case of, like, a lot of those earlier artists had a very distinct music style that couldn't easily be, like, blended into that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also makes sense.
So, yeah. But even having them watching would have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Yeah. Can we talk about my baby daddy some more?
Yeah, sure.
Because, Ezekiel, Amir.
What do you want to talk about with him?
Just everything. Okay, so his second song, where he's doing it from the jail cell. First of all, how do you get all them angles? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks like professionally produced.
That music video is so well produced for being in a cell.
How do you get his backing track? Okay.
Yeah.
How the fuck? I don't even care how he did it. I'm just glad he did it, because I fell in love with him when I first saw him, like, come on the scene, and, like, Carole went up to him at the festival. But then, like, the way that he looks into the camera at that one point when he says her name.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
was
when
good
he
stuff.
became my baby daddy. I got pregnant.
I just like I like him a lot. I'm glad that they didn't stretch out like the drama more than they needed to, you know?
Mhm.
Like they had the meeting and he's like, "Look, this is the situation that I'm in right now and I care about you, but we need to like, you know, not meet again." But then he basically reveals his true feelings and it's there. Like that's it. Like Carole just is happy about it and it's like it wasn't dragged to be too much drama and I appreciated that a lot.
It wasn't overdone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cassie, you had a point to bring up?
I just had one other, like, there's one part of the ending that I was having problems with, and it has nothing to do with Carole Tuesday or anything to do with the music. It has to do with her mom and how easy it was for that to be wrapped up.
Yeah.
Like, I would have liked a lot more with Valerie. I would have liked to see more of her struggle between wanting to be a good mom but wanting to be a good politician. I wanted to know what her drive was, because at first it just seemed like she was an evil like mustache twirling villain who just wanted to win and didn't give a shit about her kids' dreams. And then, you know, Spencer throws down a couple papers and she's like, "You know what? I
believe you." It's so funny. It was so funny because Valerie didn't have an opinion. It was all that fucking stooge.
It was all Jerry.
Yeah. That like was like, "No, you got to deport the immigrants." I'm like,
and they never really showed her having much of a problem with it either. Like
exactly. It's the only problem you hear, or the possible slight, is from Tuesday talking about how she doesn't think her mom would actually agree with that, and it's like, but
why though? You've given me nothing to believe that.
Room. Yeah, it's like she locked you in your room for a whole ass week and you could not leave. Like, you were on house arrest. She kidnapped you.
It's the AI. The AI told her to do it because she needs to focus on her career, and evil Jerry will help her out. And clearly, politics. I did not like the politics in this show.
I mean, I love the politics. I love how they dealt with like the immigration stuff because it's huge in our society right now and what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially that part where they there was like the group, I think it was Skip.
It was Skip.
Dudes were walking down the street, and these police officers are just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they're like,
they just fucking arrest them. And I'm like,
that's daily life for a black
and that happens all the fucking time. And I like that it was there.
Like, Jesus.
It's a thing though, and the fact that it's actually in an anime is like amazing. But like, there were so many times when Valerie was speaking on TV, and I was watching this with Lily, and she was like, "Okay, Trump." Like,
yeah, exactly.
100%. And I did not like that. I did not like that.
My biggest thing is like, you don't get to see her have any change of heart. It's that instant, like, you see, because when Spencer tries to bring it up in front of Jerry, it's like, she's a cold-hearted bitch, and when he's like, he's gonna leave, and she makes her little comment, and Spencer's like, "Well, when have you ever been a mother to me or Tuesday?" I was like, "Yes, Spencer, of course," like, because that's real. And then out of nowhere, he wants to be, "Oh, but maybe
I believe my mom.
I believe in her." But it's like, you can't. How do you flip flop like that?
Shit.
You can't. Was she giving you money? Did it stop? Is that why?
I think the only part I liked about that is when she was like, "Adios, Jerry."
Yep.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Even in English, very satisfactory.
Yeah.
I loved, in contrast, I loved everything with Tuesday's dad, or not Tuesday's dad, sorry, Carol's dad.
I love that.
Yeah. That was good stuff.
He knows he done fucked up, and he like, well, yeah. Rather, she was like abandoned. Oh, well, for all intents and purposes, abandoned, and he's like, "I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to be there if you need me." And I'm like, holy shit, that's so authentic. That's so not forced. This show's got such fucking good pathos. The drama's it's not dramatic. It's not anime. Watanabe knows this shit. It's so good.
He just wanted to be there for his baby. Like, and he knew that so many people were going to start coming out of the woodwork because she was getting famous. And the fact that he almost didn't tell her just goes to show that he really was looking out for her best interest and didn't want what she was coming into getting. And
I also just think that it's really important and not shown very much in media, but there are so many incarcerated men who are trying and like desperately struggling to get out to reach their children. And so the fact that he has this opportunity to go, he's not fully done yet because that's why he has to go back, but he took the free time that he had to go connect with his family is beautiful, and it's a really important message about prisoners that should be shown.
Yeah.
So that was really good. That was powerful.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, for me, at first I was like, why are we in a jail? And I was like, oh, fuck, it's our dad watching the TV.
Yeah. And it's like,
yeah,
y'all know how daddy-daughter stuff gets me.
Gets you.
And, like, just the fact that all of the stuff that they included from actual daily life interactions in the Black community with the police and like with incarcerated parents trying to make things right, it was so beautifully done, and I love that it wasn't overdone, and it definitely got me all up in my feels in a way that I did not want to be, and that's why I cried a lot.
Heck yeah. All right, y'all. I think we've sung this show so many praises.
Yeah.
Everybody ready to get on out of here?
Yeah. I'm outie.
All right. Once again, this has been episode 139 of the Annie Chatbox. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. Please go and chase your dreams.
Oyasumi.
Boy.
Keep moving mountains, y'all.
Kiss me before sunrise.